We cannot ignore the reality of climate change. The debate is over.
Canadian Conservative Party delegates voted against their own leader's position on climate change, and did it just a day after he declared his position in a speech. Now, this, of course, has to do with Erin O'Toole, the Conservative Party leader. He's been the leader now for about 7 months. So this all happened during the Conservative Party convention this past weekend. He gave about a 30-minute speech on various issues, discussing how this time the Conservative Party will be different. And then the next day, party delegates just decided, you know what? No. I think we will continue to deny climate change. So before I get to that vote, let me show you here a piece from Erin O'Toole's speech where he discussed the position that the Conservative Party should take, according to him, on climate change.
From the first days of my campaign to lead our party, I've said two things consistently. One, we all want a green future for our children. We cannot ignore the reality of climate change. The debate is over. We've now fought and lost 2 elections against a carbon tax because voters did not think we were serious about addressing climate change. And I will not allow 338 candidates to defend against the lie from the Liberals that we are a party of climate change deniers. We will have a plan to address climate change. It will be comprehensive and it will be serious.
Oh, really? All right. Well, let's see how that goes because, as I'll get to, the party feels a little differently. Now, his quote here from the speech, quote, "I will not allow 338 candidates to defend against the lie from the Liberals that we are a party of climate change deniers." The next day, Canadian Conservative Party votes not to recognize climate crisis as real. This is what the party is. The party is not changing. Erin O'Toole may want it to change because they need it to change for him to actually become prime minister, but the party is not changing. Delegates vote 54% to 46% against policy change request. More from CBC here. While delegates from each of the Atlantic provinces and Quebec embrace the climate change is real proposal, 70% of delegates from New Brunswick and Quebec were on side with it. Those from every other province and territories voted against the change. In BC, the no side had just a 2-point edge, while the vote was much more lopsided. In Saskatchewan, 73% against. The territories, 69% opposed. Alberta, 62% opposed. And Ontario, 58% opposed. A double majority of delegates, a majority of delegates overall, and the majority of delegates in the majority of provinces must agree to an official policy change. So it's not changing. It's the year 2021, and the Conservative Party won't even recognize that climate change is real. Forget about the actual solutions. Just won't even recognize the actual science that climate change is real. Not even just man-made, but real in general. Won't even accept that. This party is absolutely ridiculous. Now, a little more here. So a riding in Quebec which proposed the policy change also asked delegates to recognize that, quote, Canadian businesses classified as highly polluting need to take more responsibility and reduce their GHG emissions. So the party also voted against that. Even though, as well, in that speech, Erin O'Toole discusses how that, again, this is all rhetoric because this is a party that represents the oil industry, but the idea that we should have the biggest polluters, they should be the ones reducing their emissions, which I agree with. Yes, they should be. But you have here delegates saying, no, actually, the biggest polluters should be allowed to continue their polluting. The exact same strategy that they've had for years now. No change at all on the issue of climate change. Now, Fred Delory, he is the party's national campaign manager, did put out this tweet saying the Conservative Party policy document already has a section on climate change, and as Erin O'Toole has said, the debate is over, and we need a real plan that works, not Trudeau's carbon tax. Now, obviously, the problem is here, the delegates, the delegates decide the future of the party. If you are deciding now as leader, or as the leadership team, that you're just going to completely reject what the actual delegates want, then what's the whole point of the convention? And a lot of the replies to this are the exact same thing. Fuzzy Wuzzy here, great name, tweeting out, so this convention is meaningless and the membership actually has no say in anything. Excellent. I mean, he's not wrong. Who's deciding here? Is Erin O'Toole deciding what the position is on climate change, or are the leaders, or sorry, the delegates deciding? Either way, there's going to be people angry. But bottom line here, the Conservative Party is not going to be able to form government if they continue denying the reality of climate change. They're just not. So, as conservative as some people are in Canada, there is a limit to how many of those people exist. So I can't imagine the country electing a conservative government that doesn't acknowledge the existence of climate change. Now, you can disagree on the solutions, but to not even acknowledge the existence, I'm not sure where you really go from there. But, as much as Erin O'Toole tries to change the party, at least rhetorically, and most of this is really rhetoric. During the speech as well, he tried to claim that the party's now going to be open to unions, which is hilarious when you look at the actual history of the Conservative Party. And to be fair, Liberals as well. Both are very anti-union. But, I mean, on several issues, Erin O'Toole is trying to change the party from the top down. The problem is the actual members of the party like things the way they are.